Okay, podcast part 2. This was supposed to be part of a different video, but it didn't work out because I pushed a button and fucked it all up. And iPhones don't let you splice videos together easily, and I'm not. Anyway, so this. I know this dude, and let's call him Bob. And so I've been trying to get into making. I've tried to get into making content many times over the years, and in a nutshell, we only have ourselves to blame, right? But and I'm not gonna sit here and say I couldn't have done better. But like, and it didn't help. I kept like ADHD, forgetting emails, and not knowing login information for old YouTube channels, and locking myself out and deleting YouTube channels because people were getting into my shit and I didn't know how, and just lots of tragedy has fucked me up, which wasn't always completely my fault. Getting burglarized and them stealing a phone and fucking with me wasn't my fault. And anyway, but the part of what has been difficult about making content is I don't like to make content on my own. And it's not because I'm lonely, but because I can only talk to myself for so long. I don't want to. It just feels psychotic to sit here and talk. If I have a chat going that can help, at least somebody is, feeding me information for me to react to. But I just can't talk to myself forever. And so I've reached, for fucking minimum 10 years, I've tried to make podcasts and stuff so long ago that it was easy to get views. I promise I would have been very successful now if I had just stuck to it. But I've just never been, I just didn't want to do it alone. That wasn't the plan. And I barely thought about talking into a microphone alone because it's just not, I don't know. It's not really in the cards for me. And everyone's got bad advice on how to do it right. But I don't care. Point is, it's been difficult doing it alone. And so I just didn't do much overall because of that. And I did do a dozen, or at least, like 20, 30 podcasts, 40 podcasts, I don't know, with like 4 different people. No one sticks around. Maybe I'm just an insufferable guy. But some of these people, I was the one who said fuck off, because I thought they were rude assholes. So it's just, I haven't been able to find decent people to work with. And what I can't stand is I'll talk to people. I'll be like, get on my show. Just talk to me. Let's do a thing. Let's create something. And they're like, no, I'm going to stick to my job. My miserable fucking job. And it's all these garbage jobs are torture. It's fucking torture. And I've been trying to find a way out of it my entire life, and I'm not good at it. But I know all these people that want to just double down on their shitty job. And whether you get paid or not, you're still a fucking slave, as far as I'm concerned. And eventually you got to pay bills and bite the bullet, and I get it. It's part of being a man. But, like, for people to just be disingenuous about how miserable the whole fucking thing is, and then look at me like I'm different or weird or whatever. Like, so, trying to, like, find a point on where to go. I got a friend who basically came to me recently and was practically, they were very adamant about me helping them with a YouTube channel, and they wanted me to spend money that I don't have. And this individual has not been a completely, I've gotten beers and gifts and things from this friend, and I, with real monetary value, and they but it's a lot of, let's do what I want to do as friends. And anytime I want to talk about what I want to talk about is okay, whatever, I don't care about that. But I'm supposed to give a fuck. I'm supposed to give a fuck and be a decent friend. Like, I entertain this guy a lot. Like, I entertain his interests that I don't give a shit about a lot. And it never works the other way. And so if you ask me, do I want to spend money to do what you want to do? Fuck no. That's what I'm thinking. And now this individual's sick of their job after I've been banging the drum on this bullshit for 15 years. Now it's a waste of fucking time to make content. Now they want to fucking come around. Like, it's just unbearable, man. It's unbearable, and there's just a lot of this in the world these days. People want friends, they want business partners, and don't get me wrong, like, I wanted people to help me with my show. It was my fucking show, and I would tell them that in those words. But I wanted them to be there. You know, I wanted to hear their opinion. I wanted them to be a character on my cast. But it was my thing. And and now this individual comes back around and says, I want you to help with my thing. And it's like, where were you when I was doing my thing? Oh, I don't care about any of the shit you're interested in. You know, fuck you. I mean, there was no fuck you, but... How the fuck do people make friends these days? This is the problem with the world, see? I hear this horse shit. I hear this horse shit all the time about, like, oh, why is the world so lonely? Why is people having such a hard time making friends? Why do they spend so much time alone? Why? It's like, it's because everyone's a self-absorbed bitch these days. Like, you can't... And it's not just me and the people I know. Like, I feel like just... everyone thinks of themselves. Like, even if it's not an obvious, overt, fucking people over kind of thing. It's like... hobbies, like, oh, I want to hang out, but only if you're engaging in my hobbies. I won't engage in yours. Like, if you want to get, like, married, like, I don't, good luck with that. Like, that's not, I mean, maybe that's how marriage works, is people just play games, but I'm not invested in anybody that isn't going to at least try to be invested in what, don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you if you don't give a fuck about me. And you can't pretend with me. Like, especially, goddamn, people make it obvious, you know, like, it fucking... But I just, it really kind of bends me the wrong way when I've been asking for someone to help me produce content forever. And it's kind of just been like, fuck, like... And then you want it. And then you want it for this. You want content for the same reasons I wanted content 15 years ago when it was easy. And now you're so late to the fucking party. And you want me to give a shit and work 10 times as hard and spend money I don't have to prop up you. After you couldn't have spent 5 minutes on a microphone with me for any reason, even talking about the shit that you like. I would have given people, that's the whole point of the show. We didn't even have a direction. It was like, I mean, primarily it was video games in the beginning, but it more and more was just like, even from the beginning, I wanted to leave a lot of space for, let's just talk about whatever the fuck we want. But I would be like, well, it's kind of a video game show too. And then that's where this dude would stop. He'd be like, no, don't care. Because video games. It's like, I'm going to give you room to... But I never got to that point. It just wasn't allowed to... They didn't care. They didn't want to hear me say, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want for as long as you want to talk about on the mic. No, I'm scared. I'm scared to be on a microphone. But let's keep up our shitty jobs. Let's keep it up. Let's keep up this miserable bullshit. The kind of shit, like, At least in China, it's obvious because people are jumping out the windows. In America, everyone just keeps their head down, right? Like I maybe talking on a mic wasn't something any of my so-called friends wanted to do, especially all the ones that I haven't seen in years, right? Is talking on the mic still horribly unappealing compared to what they're doing for a living now? They're even still around? I don't even know. I don't know what, and then everyone, and then people come crawling back and they want, but only on the terms that I do their thing. Anyway, this concludes the podcast. I'm kind of bent out of shape as I was last night. I don't give a fuck about anybody else or what they're doing. And they won't come around and give a shit about what I'm doing. It's that part of the sentence doesn't even need to be said anymore, because it goes without saying. But everyone is so, I don't know, like if it's just a rise in mental illness. How do we form a fucking community when everybody's so about themselves? Like, if you want to know literally where the rubber meets the road, just drive in any city these days. People cutting each other off, can't even bother to look around. You know, there are bad drivers that need to raise their driving skill. But there's a lot of people that really don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And a certain number of these people want to form some kind of community. And they, oh, why? Why can't I make friends? Because it's just a vortex of self-absorbed bitches asking the same question. There's nothing reciprocal about society anymore. And once someone shows their fucking hand, you don't get to turn around and become normal again. You don't get to turn around and pretend to be one of us. One of the people that knows how friendship works. Like, you know, now I know the way you are. And so I'm just going to pretend like you didn't put a bad taste in my mouth and you're not pretending. Like, this whole we need to bring society together shit, it's not even worth believing in anymore. Because no one's going to actually do it. They're just going to, you know. People got this idea in their head that it's got to be all about them. Even if it means taking someone's life on the road. So let alone how to form friendships and be interested in, or feign interests in the things that your friends feign interest in, or do your best to a point. Like, I don't even try anymore. If you don't have, if we don't have similar interests, just don't bother me. Like, we're not, anyway.